Welcome to Vacuum Wars and to our best cordless mini vacuum / mini duster competition video. These mini vacs have become very popular recently, so we decided to buy the best selling models and have been testing them in various ways over the past few weeks. We put all the test results and features into a giant spreadsheet, and in this video I will reveal the best overall as well as our budget pick. So links in the description and let's get started. First, the basics. Most of these cordless handheld products are both vacuums and blowers. They come with a different set of attachments, one set of attachments for the blower side and one set for the vacuum side, and those attachments are not interchangeable. Many people like these for replacing canned air for blowing or dusting electrical components, and as we'll see later, I think these are way better than canned air for various reasons. You can also use the blower side to inflate things, which we also tested. On the vacuum side, people typically use the brush attachment to vacuum keyboards or car interiors or other light vacuuming jobs. We started by testing their power. For example, we tested their airflow on both the vacuum side and the blower side, as well as suction power on the vacuum side, all of which was done on their max power mode if applicable. As far as power on the vacuum side, the obvious winner here was the Parabuno model, which had more than double the suction power of the next closest model and way above the average amount with both suction and airflow. That model also did better than the others in the various vacuuming pickup tests that we did, where the extra suction power really seemed to make a difference. Related to the pickup tests, the Parabuno was also only one of two that included an upholstery tool attachment, which made it more useful with car cleaning and other vacuuming jobs, which I'll talk more about later. On the blower side, we tested its power in various ways as well. For example, we did a timed test to see how quickly they could inflate the same raft on max power, where the Parabuno and the Yomil model tied for first place at 39 seconds, much faster than the average speed. For those wanting to use these to replace canned air, I figured you would want to know how these compare to canned air. So we took a very sensitive scale and weighed the air pressure on max power in grams from a fixed distance and found that again the Parabuno was the best at 39 grams, which was more than double the average amount. As far as how canned air itself compares to these, it was interesting. I bought two different brands of canned air and found that in both cases they started out better than the electric blowers. That is, for the first few seconds they were around 55 grams, but very quickly, like in 15 seconds, they lost over half that power and eventually settled in around 20 grams for one brand and only about 10 grams of pressure for the other. Another problem with canned air is that you have to hold it upright all the time or it will spray out liquid, which is definitely not what you would want to do if you're dusting sensitive electronics. In my opinion, if you're in the market for one of these for a canned air replacement, it will very quickly pay for itself, and at least with the more powerful ones, you get much more power at consistent amounts with no chance of moisture no matter what angle you hold it. So it's a no-brainer. Another important consideration is their battery life, and here we simply timed how long they ran on max power on a full charge and found that the Wahtook and Muti took the number 1 and number 2 slots at 34 minutes. Most of these have 3 power settings, so you can typically get more battery runtime if you want to use it on a lower power setting. For example, the Parabuno almost got 12 minutes on max power, but it can get 20 minutes on medium power and 35 minutes on low power. The larger the battery they have, the more they weigh though, so we gave extra points to those that were the lightest. We also measured their physical dust bin capacity in milliliters, but they were all quite small. We also measured their noise level, where, not surprisingly, the one with the least amount of suction was also the quietest, where the one with the most amount of suction was the loudest. One very important factor was the attachments that they come with. On the vacuum side, most of them came with only a crevice-like tool and a brush attachment, and that was pretty much it for the vacuum. When it comes to the blower, they came with a lot more attachments. Most of them came with additional items like little brushes that you're supposed to just use separately, which I'm not sure how useful they are, as well as a carrying bag, or in the case of the Parabuno, a carrying case. As I mentioned before, two of them, the Parabuno and Roval, came with an upholstery tool for the vacuum side as well, which I think is really important if you wanted to use these for car cleaning or other upholstery. The Mecco and Parabuno tied in the attachments category, as both of them had about double the average score. I added up all these scores and found that the Parabuno was the best by a wide margin, which is not surprising since it is also the best-selling model of all the ones that we bought. One important point here, though, is that the Parabuno is also the most expensive of all of these. So yes, you get twice the power and twice the features, but it comes at twice the cost. For that reason, I also have a value pick, which also happens to be the number 2 overall, which is the Untovi. But because that one never seems to be in stock anymore, I will also link our number 3, the Hurlitz, below as well for a backup value pick. Links in the description, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching. All of the links in our description section are updated regularly to reflect our current favorite vacuums in multiple categories. If you don't know where to start, check out our latest Vacuum Buyer's Guide video linked here. You'll also find links to the vacuumwars.com website in the description, where we post all the latest vacuum news, as well as much more detailed top 5 lists in multiple categories.